Hey guys, welcome back. This is 1.1-4 in our geometry course, and we're going to find the distance between 2 points on the number line here with first a method that we're going to know what the distance is, and then we're going to figure out how do we do that without actually using up those spaces to do that. So you can always find the distance between 2 points on the number line. You can count them. And that's the easiest way to do it. So for example, if we wanted to find the distance between point A and point B, we can go, oh, there's A, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it's 4 spaces between A and B. But we don't really need to count spaces to find distance. We can actually use absolute value. So I'm going to show you that, and then we're going to come back up to that number line to show. Okay, so what we just did is we found the distance between points A and point B on the number line, and we said, well, that's 4 spaces. But before we left that segment, I said you don't really need to count spaces to actually find the distance. We can use absolute value. So let's do it that way then. We want to find the distance on that same number line between points C and D. So C and D. So we're going to notice here that point C is at -1 and point D is at +5. All right, so here's a couple of steps. Point C is at -1, point D is at 5. So what we're going to do is we're going to match point D with an integer on the number line, which we did. We're going to subtract them. So we have -1 minus 5. Remember our rule from the last time, right? We're going to find the absolute value of the difference. So we have absolute value, that's -6, and then the absolute value of -6 is 6. So the distance between points C and D is 6. The distance between C and D is 6. And if you wanted to test it out, you'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when you're not always going to have access to that number line, so follow those steps. So we're going to find point C, we're going to find point D in this case, we're going to subtract the integers, we're going to find the absolute value of the difference, and then that is your distance. So if we look at a line segment, in this case segment CD, and if we're trying to find the length of that line segment, well, the length of that line segment is the distance between the endpoints. And in this case, it was CD, it was 6 units, right? So CD is equal to 6. All right, let's put that to work. Okay, so we want to find, on this number line, the length of segment EF. So the length of segment EF. So segment point E then is at -5, okay? So point E is at -5, and point F is at +3. All right, so we match the point, we match point E, we match point F, and then we're going to subtract, right? So -5 minus +3, all right? We're going to find the difference there. We have -8, and then we take the absolute value of -8, and that equals 8. So the length of EF is 8. Test it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you didn't need to count them on the number line by following the steps.